Hello you lot, Miller Corner here, welcome back once again, and today is a video that's something just a little bit different, and it's something that I'm sure a lot of you will have been hoping for quite a long time. A video without my face in it. Yep, you're going to be treated to an entire Miller Corner video and not see this ugly mug even once. Yep, that's a right old treat for you, and it is not without substance, because today you join me on my 2007 Yamaha YBR125, my very first motorbike. And I've been riding it a fair bit since I revealed the bike on the channel about a month ago now. The reason why it hasn't appeared since then is because, as you probably know if you've been keeping up with the channel, there's been a lot of Super Seicento stuff going on. There's quite a lot of things going on that means I unfortunately can't do anything to the car this week. So instead, I thought we'd go out for the first proper ride on the YBR125, because I've spent the last few weeks riding it pretty much every single day, getting better, developing my skills, and I feel like this can be the first proper ride where I can actually tell you all more about why I bought this bike, and I can show you all why I love it so much. So without further ado, let's get into it. To clarify, I did actually plan to originally have a GoPro just there on my rev counter as well, pointing at me so you could see my helmet in the saddle, but unfortunately I literally got as far as wheeling the bike out of the garage and the suction mount decided that that was not going to happen. So for the time being, you're not going to get any visions of my lovely face while I'm riding this thing, which I'm sure you're either extremely grateful or extremely sad about, depending on how loyal of a viewer you are. Now, since you saw the bike first at its reveal, which was a month ago, I guess, someone tell me in the comments what I should be saying in this video. Nothing has been done to it, pretty much. It has been ridden very, very regularly, and it's had a new throttle twist grip put on, which, as you can see, is now working perfectly. The old one didn't return. You had to kind of put it back manually, and how can I put it? For a novice rider who's just about getting used to the whole idea of how to ride a bike, that is not ideal. When I first started riding, I couldn't really get used to the weight transfer that you have, because obviously in a car you've got the width of the car and it doesn't really lean too much. Even if you've got a really roly-poly suspension that's kind of on the levels of stock Seicento suspension, you still don't have that much weight transfer, whereas on the bike you have all of it. You are the weight transfer. You have the whole weight of your body kind of leaning over and basically depicting where you want to go. And I had that moment where I'd see something, or I'd look over, I'd see a cool car, or I'd be trying to turn my head to avoid the sunlight. I'd have my eyes where I wanted to go, but not my head. And as you'll kind of learn if you start riding a bike, if you already ride a bike, you'll already know this, wherever your head's pointing is where you're going to go in a corner. And I had to work that out pretty damn quickly, because I did have some near misses on turns and roundabouts that I really shouldn't have. So that was a skill I had to redevelop and learn very, very quickly if I actually wanted to ride the bike and not endure it and fear riding it, which for the first couple of times, I'll be honest with you, I kind of did. I kind of had that moment of going into a corner and not really leaning into it enough, not going around it at a good enough speed, holding people up. I've learned a lot. I can feel myself getting better these days. I can feel how much I'm improving, how much better I'm getting at everything, from changing gears smoothly, pulling away, looking as far away in the distance as I possibly can to see where I'm going. Everything I've just felt getting so much better, and it's an awesome feeling when you can feel yourself developing at something. You can feel how much better you're getting, you can feel yourself improving because it's motivating you. Basically, the only training I've had is about an hour of written theory and stuff like that, and a couple of hours riding around a town at about 20 miles an hour. So the first time I did this particular ride that I'm doing now, I got up to sort of 50-55 miles an hour, which is probably most of what this little 125 can do, and I absolutely crapped myself, to be honest with you. It was pretty damn scary. I have developed, I have improved, and I'm at the point now where I'm not fearing it, I'm not worried about it, I'm not clenching the tank with my knees to try and hang on for dear life. I'm just relaxed, I'm in the swing of things, and I'm loving it. And when you get a corner particularly right, you tip your weight in, it's just the best feeling ever. I've driven some cars, including the Super Seicento, that do handle incredibly well. They've got really, really sharp, really nice handling, but none of that compares to getting a corner right on a bike. When you nail a lean into a corner, you knock it down a peg, as they say in the biking world, that is just the most satisfying feeling in the world. I've got a beautiful day, it's not in any way cold, this is just perfect biking conditions in fact, and I'm getting comfortable with it. It's a really nice route. I'm getting to know all the little dips and undulations in the road, and the fact that there's traffic lights here, which I genuinely didn't remember because I was too busy making a YouTube video, because I'm clever like that and I'm very good at multitasking, ladies. Car drivers, they don't give a about bikers. They don't seem to care. The majority, let's say 90%, let's be fair, there is this kind of everlasting debate in the bike world. Should we be allowed to have loud exhausts just so car drivers can see us, or is having an extremely loud exhaust, is that risking right? There are two sides to that argument, and I think I'm going to cover that more in a separate video, but I can see the side of the argument that is pro noisy pipes. I was riding along to a side turning, and a lady in, I'm going to name and shame it, a Renault Modus, a car which never seems to be driven, in my experience, by anyone who knows how to drive very well. She basically just pulled straight out on me, and if I wasn't as sharp on the brakes as I was at the time, I probably wouldn't be here today. I would probably be in a hospital and saying, no, I'm never going to bike again. Although, as we've discovered before, just stopping doing something if it doesn't go right is not the way around it. Exhibit A, the Super Seicento, written off by a truck, and have I said goodbye to it? Nope. Have I stopped driving? Nope. You just persevere, you crack on, you work out what you did wrong the first time round, and you improve on it. And I think that's kind of the same with biking. You're never going to get it right first time. Your first pull away you do is going to be sketchy. The first stop you do is going to be extremely sketchy. You'll feel like you're not cut out for biking. I know I certainly didn't. At one point I genuinely thought, no, this was a mistake, I've made a bad idea. Pretty much everyone, when they first start out biking, sucks at it, and I was no exception. And any seasoned bikers will be watching this video now and saying, oh, he missed a shift there, or he didn't look over his shoulder there. There's lots and lots of things I need to brush up on, and I'm well aware of that. There's a lot of things that I'm just not very good at yet, and as you feel yourself getting better, you can go and do new things. It's fun, and I think that brings me on to the next point I've had, which is a lot of people have asked me, well, you're a car guy through and through, you've got a whole channel dedicated to cars, you just talk about cars and watch YouTube videos about cars, not even frequent basis, a pretty much permanent basis. What are you doing on a bike for? And my response to that is, go and try it. It's an absolutely fantastic experience. Not only will it make you a better driver because you're more aware of the shapes of the road, the undulations, the curves, but it will make you more aware of motorcyclists, because I've become more aware of drivers not looking at what they're doing and very nearly wiping me out. I mean, I already looked for motorcyclists before I got a bike, but now I've upped that tenfold pretty much, because I know how important it is that that car driver gives you as much notice as possible to know you're there, because 2 seconds could be all it takes for you to get wiped out by that thing if you're in a car or a truck's blind spots. It's not just that it's a more eye-opening experience being on a bike, it's not just that you're kind of more aware of the road, aware of your positioning, aware of the shapes and the curves and all that kind of stuff. It's also to do with the freedom of it. I mean, I'm riding through some woods now. It's gorgeous, and I'm part of the scenery. I'm riding straight through it. I've got the wind in my helmet. You obviously can't, but I can smell the trees and the fresh air, and it really genuinely smells lovely. It smells really kind of end of summer, start of autumn smells, and they are delicious. I'm absolutely loving the smells right now. Not always the case, obviously. There's one time I was riding past a field of cows, but on the whole, it's just fantastic to be part of the scenery to an extent that you are on a bike. It's awesome. How many people would you say live in the UK are car enthusiasts? It's got to be in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. You walk into a room of 10 people and there's a pretty much guarantee that at least one of them will be interested in cars in some way, shape or form. If you were to get a room full of 10 people and say how many of you are into bikes, I don't think it'd be that many. I think you'd need to get to sort of 1 in 20, maybe even 1 in 30 people to find a bike enthusiast. You get involved with biking for the fun of it, and not for the fun of following tractors at 20 miles an hour. It's one of these things that you do it and you go, why haven't I done this sooner? What was holding me back? And because of that, you're part of a sort of elite club. The people who realise, give a nod to that guy, how good it is. Whether they're on a learner bike or whether they're on a massive Harley or a super bike, whatever they're on, almost every biker will do the nod, which is where we just look over at each other and give us a nod just to confirm, yep, we know that this is awesome in its own way, and it's in some ways better than a car because you get that extra freedom, you get that extra exposure to the landscape, and we know, because we're there, because we're doing it, we kind of do the, yeah, this is sick. That's essentially what that nod is. This is freaking awesome. And occasionally I don't change gear very well, as you might have just noticed. I'm on a metal horse with the engine vibrating just down there between my thighs essentially and doing its thing. And alright, that sounded a little bit pornographic actually. It's just so much fun. You know that there are no distractions, there's nothing holding you back. In a modern car, and I've done a whole video about modern cars, so you know how much I'm not a fan of most of what they stand for. You've got your heated leather seats, you've got your 16 speaker stereo, you've got your sat nav. On a bike you can add all the tech you like, but you still can't automate it. It's still down to you and only you to get the best out of it. You still can't make any compromises on your ability, and that's what I like about biking, I suppose, is in a world where cars are getting subtracted from the experience, they're kind of more numbing, I suppose is probably a good word for it. They're more like padded boxes to move you around, which is probably what the move to autonomous cars has been about. Biking, it takes it all back to basics, and it's entirely down to you to get it right, which is probably why I don't get it right very often. But when you do, when you do, my word, it is so much freaking fun. I know a lot of you will be saying, why do you get so giddy about a little 125? It's not fast. A lot of people think it's too scary, or a lot of people think it's too dangerous, or a lot of people just don't think they'd have the skill to do it, and I totally appreciate that. Honestly, getting onto a bike to go alongside a fun car, even a little bike like this one, is one of the best decisions I think I've ever made, because it's so much freaking fun. It's so great to just be rolling along. I mean, look at this now. I've got a beautiful view. I've got a gorgeous day. I can smell the landscape around me, and it smells lovely on a day like today. Yes! Oh, this is good. Just winding it out. No restrictions. Nothing holding me back. Just wind flowing through my helmet. The smell of the landscape around me, and total and utter freedom. I absolutely love this. Absolutely fantastic. You have to try biking. You owe it to yourself, because I don't think anyone who's into driving cars for fun would get on a bike and say it was boring, or say it wasn't what they hoped it would be, because you get it right. You're on a beautiful day like today, you're on a nice little winding road like this one, you get on it, you have some fun, and there is absolutely nothing better. And I think that, for me, that's what it's all about. That is why I started biking, and that's why I don't think I'm ever going to stop biking. I honestly, and I do genuinely mean this, I would genuinely rather be doing this ride that I'm doing now on a bike than in a car, and I mean that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not off of cars. I haven't been put off of cars. I still love them. That's still my #1 hobby and passion, and that is a love that I will take to my grave. But I do not regret my decision to get a bike for a second. I just love this. There's going to be a lot more videos coming about biking on the channel, but I want to know, what do you want to see about biking? Do you want to see about learning how to ride a bike and developing your skills? Do you want to see stuff to do with mods and working on a bike? Do you want to see a car driver's experience of getting into biking? Because that's something I can cover as well if you like. Tell me what sort of biking content you want to see on the channel, and then hopefully, if you're not a biker already, I can convince you that 2 wheels ain't nothing like it. I came across a saying which I think summarises why I've done this perfectly. It says, you could die on a bike. And you could, it's true. Hundreds of people die on bikes every year. It's a very real possibility. But if you're not riding, are you really living? And that, for me, is why I got into biking. Because there are very few times and very few experiences that I feel more alive than when I'm doing this. Haha! Thanks very much for watching this video, everybody. I really appreciate it. If you liked it and you want to see more epic biking content to come on this channel in the very near future, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified when a new Miller Corner video is released. But for now, thanks very much for watching, everybody, and have a brilliant rest of your day. See you very soon, and have a good one. Haha.